you in the streets, because it was like, dang, if she held him down.
So even if me and Yandy decide to break up, there's no well, we never was like legally married, so I don't know. You know, she said, let's not sign the papers, and I was like, all right, cool. And then
for years, fans of love and hip hop, Atlanta have questioned whether Yandy Smith and Mendeces Harris were truly husband and wife. Now, Mendeces himself has finally addressed the rumors, confirming what many viewers long suspected. Their marriage was never legally finalized. Although millions watched the couple exchange vows during their highly publicized wedding ceremony on the show, Mendeces revealed that the legal paperwork was never properly completed or filed. As a result, the marriage was never officially recognized by law, despite being presented as real on television. According to reports, the decision to leave the marriage unfinished was largely influenced by Yandy, particularly during the period when Mendeces was serving time in prison. While the couple continued to portray themselves as husband and wife publicly, the absence of a legal marriage certificate has now become a major topic of discussion among fans and critics alike. This revelation also sheds new light on several past controversies involving the couple. Over the years, cast members and viewers repeatedly questioned the authenticity of their relationship. Critics argued that parts of their storyline seemed more focused on maintaining a public image than reflecting reality. Reality star Rashida was among the most outspoken voices, openly accusing Yandy of being fake and misleading both the cast and the audience. The situation became even more controversial after rumors surfaced that Tamar Braxton had encouraged Mendeces to publicly clarify his actual marital status. At the time, many dismissed those claims as gossip, but Mendeces' recent comments have caused fans to revisit old interviews and social media discussions with new perspective. After discussing the matter during an appearance on Young Jock's radio show, social media quickly erupted with reactions. Some fans expressed disappointment, feeling they'd been misled for years, while others defended the couple, arguing that a relationship's strength is not determined by legal document alone. Regardless of where fans stand, one thing is clear. Mendeces' confession has reopened a debate that's followed the couple for years and added another surprising chapter to one of love and hip-hop. Atlanta's most talked about relationships.
About you in the streets, because it was like, dang, if she held him down.
So even if me and Yandy decide to break up, it's no one's business but our household. Right? So if you see me acting inappropriate, it's appropriate for me. It's maybe not for you, because I'm sorry you wasn't in the group chat.
What he's essentially saying is that there was already an understanding between him and Yandy regarding the state of their relationship. According to him, they had either separated or were no longer together, but chose not to make it public because they considered it a private matter. He admitted that being seen with multiple women created a negative image and fueled speculation, but he believes people were judging the situation without knowing the full story. From his perspective, the criticism was unfair because he says they were never legally married to begin with. Looking back, it apars their relationship had been facing challenges for quite some time. Fans of love and hip-hop, Atlanta may remember the tension and disagreements that became increasingly visible over the years. Many viewers felt the relationship was already showing signs of strain long before these recent revelations. Mendeces also accused Yandy on several occasions of focusing more on television storylines than their real-life relationship, which led many to believe he had been unhappy for a while. Some people now think he wanted Yandy to publicly address their relationship status and clarify whether they were separated, but that clarification never came. Now, after years of rumors and speculation, Mendeces is finally setting the record straight. He says they were never legally married and suggests that they have not been together for quite some time, a revelation that has sparked renewed debate among fans and added another layer of controversy to their already complicated relationship.
You know what I'm trying to say? I'm sorry you was in our bedroom when we had this conversation, and you know and that's the problem, because a lot of times these rumors, you know, we so private that we sit back and we laugh at it, and it doesn't affect us like the way it affects the public. People be like, "Oh, y'all should be more transparent and let us know."
Ain't your business.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to let our children know.
Right, exactly.
What's the status of you and Yandy right now?
Are we not together?
Y'all not together. So y'all getting a divorce?
Well, we never was like legally married.
Hold on for a second. We need to take this all the way back. Did you catch what he just said? According to Mendices, they were never legally married. He's stepping into 2025 and making it clear to everyone online that the marriage was never official. That means all those rumors about people not being able to find a marriage certificate, along with the questions Rashida kept raising over the years, may have had some truth behind them. Apparently, there was never any legal paperwork, and nothing was ever officially filed. That's what makes this revelation so shocking. For years, Yandy presented the relationship as a legitimate marriage, but now Mendices is claiming that legally, it never existed. Looking back at everything that's happened, this entire situation takes on a completely different meaning, and has many people questioning what was really going on behind the scenes.
Well, we never was like legally married, so I don't know what a divorce was like.
So the rumors are true that y'all was never, y'all just did it for TV.
Listen, nah, I didn't do it for TV. I think, listen, it was Yandy idea, right? Because in the beginning we had I was going through legal battles with.
The fact that this was reportedly Yandy's idea makes the entire situation even more unbelievable. I honestly don't think she ever imagined things would play out this way. I was reading to the comments and saw people saying, Yandy is smart. And I'm sitting here wondering, smart in what way? At the end of the day, you're either married or you're not. Marriage is supposed to represent commitment. And based on everything that's coming out now, it doesn't seem like there was much of that from his side. They weren't legally married, and on top of that, she was the one who reportedly chose not to make it official. Now, I'm not saying a signed marriage certificate would have guaranteed loyalty or changed the outcome, but what I am saying is that by never making the marriage legal, there was always an easy way out. There were no legal ties holding the relationship together in the traditional sense. Then you add in the fact that she brought him to Atlanta, a city known for distractions and opportunities, and expected everything to go smoothly. Looking back, some people feel the situation was destined to face challenges from the very beginning.
She said, let's not sign the papers. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I guess, it kind of just stayed that way. Then we got married again. And then we still ain't.
But here's the part that really has people scratching their heads. You had a second wedding. The first time around, the paperwork was never signed. Then after he got out, the two of you held another ceremony, and yet there was still no legal marriage. So naturally, people are wondering what was actually going on. From an outside perspective, it just doesn't seem to make sense. At a certain point, it stops looking like a simple oversight and starts looking like a deliberate pattern. 2 weddings, no marriage license, yet a real family and children are involved in the middle of it all. That's why so many people are questioning the situation. I'm not claiming to know the reason behind it, but I can understand why it raises eyebrows. A wedding ceremony is one thing, but marriage is also a legal commitment. When that legal step keeps getting left out, it's only natural for people to start asking questions and looking at the entire relationship differently.
Yeah, you was at.
I was there and I had a good time.
Let me tell you something. I was shocked.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. That was about it.
Yes, I remember the special.
Yeah, listen. But you gotta think about it, right? If I look back now, I see what people going through divorce with assets and stuff like that.
You escaped. I'm going through.
We don't gotta go through none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
you won.
It kind of worked out.
How long have y'all been split, and how was the split? What was the coping?
So I've known Yandy for like 20 years, right? So
now, I had to pause right there. He said he's known Yandy for 20 years, and that alone says a lot about their history. According to his other child's mother, Erica, Yandy was allegedly involved with him while he was still seeing other women. That's a long history between 2 people. 20 years is no short amount of time, and for many people, it highlights the idea that the energy you put out into the world eventually comes back around. The things you do, the way you move, and the choices you make all come with consequences. Sometimes those consequences don't show up right away, but eventually they find their way back to you. For some observers, Yandy's situation is an example of exactly that.
We've been probably split up for over a year. 20 years, you don't, it's like,
He also revealed that they've been separated for over a year. And that brings me to Tamar Braxton. Personally, I believe there may be some truth to the rumors surrounding her. I don't think the content creator simply made up the story when he claimed that Tamar was involved with Mendices on multiple occasions in his presence and that it made him uncomfortable. Like most people, we all assume Mendices and Yandy were married. But based on what has now been revealed, some of those past claims seem a lot more believable. There were also reports that Tamar wanted Mendices to publicly address the situation. Now, as we head into 2026, Mendices has come forward to clarify that he and Yandy were never legally married and that they have been apart for roughly a year. Still, the bigger conversation revolves around Tamar's involvement. Even if Mendices wasn't legally married, many people believe he was, and Tamar likely did too, yet she still chose to get involved, which some critics view as part of a larger pattern of attention-seeking behavior. At this point, the discussion goes beyond just one relationship. It's about the decisions being made. Critics argue that Tamar continues to find herself connected to controversial situations and complicated relationships. Out of all the men she could choose from, she's reportedly linked to someone with a very messy history, following previous relationships that also attracted public scrutiny. Tamar, many people feel it's time to start making better choices and move in a different direction.
ways messing with Yandy. Like I wouldn't be the man who I am today if it wasn't for her.
That's a beautiful thing to say.
So she made me look at family different.
With all these revelations coming to light, the story looks very different than what fans believed for years. But what do you think about the situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates.